All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So yesterday was not the best day if you're a Chicago Bears fan. They lost in the season finale to the Green Bay Packers to finish the season off at 7-10. We're over 24 hours removed. Some way, somehow, Luke Getsy is still employed by the Chicago Bears. And I think yesterday, even though the Bears only scored 9 points, I think because it was against Green Bay and it was just it's Bears Packers, I think the entire NFL world was finally woken up to like, oh wow, it's not Justin Fields' fault at all. Like, this is a Luke Getsy problem. This is a Matt Eberflus problem. And even though they only scored 9 points and Justin Fields didn't throw the football for over an hour, the final offensive play of the season on like a 3rd and 20 plus was like a wide receiver screen. I am still feeling very hopeful about Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears' future because I actually feel even more confident today that Justin Fields will be QB1 for this football team next season. And I think a great example for the dysfunctionality within the Bears organization was Matt Eberflus's 200 club. And it pretty much just confirmed what we all knew, that the Bears gave Justin Fields the wrong head coach in Eberflus, and they gave him the wrong offensive coordinator in Luke Getsy. The thing is, if you want your stud athlete at the quarterback position to never throw any picks, never take any sacks, and aim for only 2 touchdowns per game, it's just like a red flag. It's just a huge red flag. And I think yesterday when we break down the film of how no wide receiver was open, what felt like the entirety of the football game, I'm just glad that it's kind of at this mainstream level now where people are like, oh, all right, you know what? Hold on. I think Ryan Poles sees the writing on the wall here that Eberflus's culture, even that everybody was raving about, wasn't really a thing. The culture is actually more so everybody rallying behind Justin Fields and everybody wanting Justin Fields to be the quarterback. So before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Bears fans, I post at least one Bears video every single week. So if we could try and get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So Justin Fields' statistics weren't even that bad. It's just he didn't throw the football much. The Bears just, especially the offensive line, and we know, man, especially in divisional games, especially in a Packers-Bears rivalry, everybody's going to be playing their asses off. And so Justin Fields yesterday, 11-16, no interceptions, but no touchdowns, only 148 passing yards. However, once again, he only threw the football 16 times. Unfortunately for the Bears yesterday, it was the worst offensive line performance of the entire season. And the Bears offensive line this year is much, even though they're very young, you got Braxton Jones on the left side, you got rookie Darnell Wright on the right side. Outside of the center position, I actually think the Chicago Bears offensive line, when they're fully healthy, is very solid. But for example, Tevin Jenkins yesterday had probably the worst game of his NFL career, and it just is at a bad time because, and I think a lot of Bears fans would agree with this, the fear is that Justin Fields is the dude. And the fear is that the incompetency of Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy is just going to shaft Justin Fields. And everybody wants him to succeed, whether or not he's a Chicago Bear, but everyone's kind of holding their breath right now. What I do know about Ryan Poles is, I'll say this, I would imagine wholeheartedly that Luke Getsy will be fired in the next 7 days maximum. I worry Eberflus is going to keep his job. I don't think it's the best route. And I have a quote here from DeMarcus Walker. He was asked if the coaching staff has built something worth bringing back. And here was his direct quote. I don't know, man. That's for Mr. Warren, the McCaskey family, and Poles. It's up to those guys to make that decision. I get paid a lot of money, but not that much. And I think all of these postseason interviews, all these exit interviews from the Chicago Bears players today and yesterday, post-game recaps, whatever, I think it just kind of brings everything full circle where, like I said earlier, it feels like it wasn't an Eberflus culture thing. It was more of everybody rallying behind Justin Fields and everybody playing their hearts out and leaving everything out there on the field because of Justin Fields. Yesterday in general for Luke Getsy was just terrible. And I hate to, go at one person specifically, But it's been clear in the 2 years he was the offensive coordinator that he is just not the guy. And I talk about this in all of my Bears videos, but I was at the game, Packers at Bears week 1, and even from whatever seat I had, I could see that Luke Getsy wanted this dude to be Aaron Rodgers. Eberflus wants this guy to be a game manager. But when you have such a crazy athlete, when you have such a dynamic playmaker at the quarterback position, you can't hold him back. You have to let him loose. You have to let him make mistakes if he's going to make mistakes. But I don't want to hear this, 200 combined yards. Let's just have no turnovers and let's just go for 2 touchdowns. It's like, what on earth are you guys talking about here? And so if Luke Getsy's still employed by this team, I'd be shocked, because I think a really good example is what Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens' new offense coordinator this season did after finishing 13-4. DJ Moore, the good news is the Chicago Bears are still in a really good spot, even though the way this season ended, leaves a sour taste in a lot of Bears fans' mouths. I still think it's okay. And we just always got to preach patience when talking about this Chicago team on this channel, because once again, they only won 3 football games last season. When I take a look at their current roster, especially yesterday, but especially the last month of the season, this became abundantly clear to me. Outside of DJ Moore, outside of Cole Kmet's second half of the season, who's this dude trying to throw to? Who's he supposed to be throwing the football to? And, you could bring up like Tyler Scott, the rookie, Robert Tonyan. These guys drop balls. They're not creating any type of separation. Like, yes, Justin Fields has to hold the ball so long because nobody is open. There's just nobody open. And in the last couple of weeks, whenever the Bears lose a football game, I think it's just so clear. I think it's just as clear as day. Like, if you're going to double team DJ Moore, if you're going to scheme against DJ Moore having the football, Justin Fields is really going up against the world, is kind of how it feels. But the good news is you have the first pick, you have 2 top 10 picks, you have a bunch of cap space, you just more than doubled your win total of last season, going from 3 to 7. I know, the season didn't start the way Bears fans and the Bears should have started the season, but genuinely, the second half of the year was much more improved. They started to see the victories, and we started to see the potential of what it can be like if you trade back from pick number 1 and you go to 2 or 3 and you draft Marvin Harrison Jr., or you draft Brock Bowers, or you take a wide receiver in the top 10. The good news is all the things we just mentioned, and I've got this young rising defense, which just littered with studs, man. Edmonds and Edwards did a phenomenal job all season. The 2 new linebacker acquisitions. Tyreek Stevenson had a forced fumble yesterday. The dude had a phenomenal rookie season. Jaquan Brisker is phenomenal. Kyler Gordon, Terrell Smith, Javon Dexter, Zach Pickens, the new addition of Montez Sweat. I think the defense is in a very, very good spot. And if they can just go out there and get a couple of more playmakers and a center and a competent offensive coordinator and maybe a new head coach, well, the Chicago Bears team next year, we're going to see that explosiveness finally. That's my thoughts right now. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. But Bears fans especially, let me know down below, do you think Justin Fields will be QB1 next season? And do you want Justin Fields to be QB1 next season? That's it from me. Peace.